Presented by Think Outside the Box and Silent Rhythms. Hi, my name is Kaitlyn Mielke. My name sign is a K with the middle finger brushing on my cheek. I am deafblind. What are gold standards in the accessibility space? Focusing on all access performances and events that welcome all and that provide accessibility at the same time. Not separating into Deaf Day or Blind Day, instead integrating the communities. Why is it beneficial to have access options for different disabilities on the same day? Well, historically, accessibility tends to be separated. On deaf-centered events, there are ASL interpreters and captioning, and on blind-centered days, there are tours, guides, braille, and audio description. It tends to be separated. Understand that people are not to be categorized because maybe they have multiple or integrated disabilities. Don't assume that separation is okay. So the gold standard, skip the labeling and separation and combine everything on the same day. How can arts organizations ensure accessibility before patrons arrive at the building? We visit your website, read your newsletter, email. You should confirm that it's all accessible, even the digital and paper formats. Your website should have all these accessibility options. Also, consider including wayfinding information on your website. What does that mean? It's the know before you go information and descriptions. What the space looks like. How do you get there? How do you navigate through the buildings? Make sure you have different options for communication. For example, if you have questions before a show, make sure you have a phone number to call, an email to contact, a form to fill out, and make sure that form itself is accessible. Same thing for post-show communication. Complaints, concerns, feedback. Make sure you have different communication options. What are companion tickets and sliding scale tickets, and how can arts organizations make them more accessible? Companion tickets and sliding scale tickets. Okay. What is companion seating? It means a patron with a disability and their companion who go to the event and sit together. Usually, a disabled patron has to pay for both tickets, which is not fair. Consider making that second companion ticket free or reduced fare. Make sure that there are seats available with ample space for wheelchairs and service dogs. Now, what are sliding scale tickets? Many times, theaters will charge a person with a disability full price due to the location of their seat. You should consider not charging full price and instead consider a sliding scale to make sure the ticket itself is financially accessible too. What is the importance of offering tactile tours and not just to deafblind patrons? When tactile tours are limited to blind-centered days, there's an assumption that they're for blind patrons only. But people who are blind may have other disabilities too, so maybe offer them the same day as other disabilities. Tactile tours are not just for people with disabilities. Non-disabled people and people with no disabilities can benefit from them too. They can observe the stage before the show, get a good idea of what it looks like, costumes, props, and understand the full concept. How are audio-described transcripts helpful for deafblind patrons? Not all blind people can hear. So, consider deaf and hard of hearing people with vision loss. How can they access audio description? Consider providing transcripts of the audio description so that a deafblind person can read and fill in the gaps they may have and combine their knowledge of the ASL interpretation, the captions, and the AD all together. Consider adding a transcript of the audio description too, not just for during the show, but in a video format that is shareable. Expanding on that idea, sometimes productions will release a vlog to promote that show online. The captions and the audio in the video are great, but there's no visual description found. It's important to include visual descriptions with your captions and audio and embed it in the transcript. What are the differences between open captions and captioning devices, and how can we make them accessible? Historically, captioning has been provided to make performances accessible for the deaf and hard of hearing. Understand that open captions and captioning devices are not all created equal. Open captions are typically set up on a screen, and anyone can benefit from them. But sometimes the captions are too far away, and the stage is hard to see at the same time, and it requires patrons to look back and forth the entire time. Consider setting up captions so that they are easily viewed by all. There are many different types of captioning devices. Some theaters provide a handheld device where patrons read along. Another is a downloadable app like GalaPro, and patrons can use their personal phone as their captioning device. But there are still barriers. Sometimes the handheld device's lighting are not bright enough or difficult to see. The light may bother patrons around the user, or the font type and size and color is not ideal. So best to make sure it's readable from up close and further back. Size adjustment makes a difference, especially if your devices allow it. How can we ensure paper and digital programs are accessible? Paper programs are great, but make sure you have different options available. Can you provide braille programs? How about large print programs? Or other accessible reading formats? Make sure you promote that you have these options so people know they can ask you for braille or large print. Digital programs are also great. Consider how you'll share them out. Are they accessed via QR code? And if that's the case, make sure that there is a website link option since some people can't scan QR codes. Make sure there's an ability to zoom in on the pages. If there's pictures, that's great. Make sure to add alt text or alternative text for screen reader users or braille users. Consider having image descriptions written directly in your program because not everyone uses a screen reader or a braille display. Image descriptions benefit everyone. Anyone could wonder, oh, who's in that picture? And then they'd have the option to read the image description below. What are the best ways to assist deafblind patrons after they arrive at the theater? Okay, so scenario. Today is performance day. When people enter, it's nice to have a host to greet folks. Or even better, an interpreter stationed in the lobby. Consider having multiple communication options ready for patrons to engage with the people at the front desk. Make sure you're meeting the person's communication needs. Before the show starts, consider having the cast line up on stage to describe themselves, their character name, their costume, their visual description. And again, it's beneficial to have interpreters standing up there with them so they can clarify which characters they're signing for. This way, deaf audience can easily identify who is who. A special thank you to the following organizations: the Sudbury Foundation, Open Door Theater, Discovery Museum, Massachusetts Cultural Council.